This video is about creating contingency plans prior to the Ultra Trail Snowdonia. Some of you may have lots of experience in creating plans, such as training plans, diet plans, and even action plans. This plan is focusing more on preparing yourself mentally for what might happen in the race. There is a task sheet to go along with this video, so open that up while you watch and feel free to pause it at any time so you can do the tasks at your own pace. So the aim of this video is to build resilience through the use of contingency plans. So to start with, what do we mean by resilience? Or some of you might be more aware of the term mental toughness. It's defined as a process, capacity for, or outcome of successful adaptation despite challenging or threatening circumstances, which is basically about overcoming adversity while being as calm as possible. It's a key skill needed especially for endurance events. When completing an endurance event, and especially an ultra event, it can be more of a mental game than a physical one. And in order to make it to the end, it is about overcoming adversities and struggles that arise and being able to stay calm and push through them when they occur. And to do this, you need resilience. When thinking about the Ultra Trail Snowdonia as an event, it may bring feelings of anxiety. You may be thinking, will the weather be bad? Will it be hard? Will I get injured? These thoughts are all normal. However, how you then interpret the event is what matters. Some people may interpret the event as a threat, which is a feeling you may not have the resources to cope with the race demands. However, what we want to do is try and approach the Ultra Trail Snowdonia with a challenge mindset, where we feel like we have the perceived resources to overcome the demands of the race. If you haven't completed an Ultra Trail Snowdonia before, having a challenge mindset is about wanting to immerse yourself in understanding the race, rather than avoid learning about it. I know some aspects can be hard and you may not want to think about them, but don't avoid it, and try and find out everything involved so you are fully prepared. Even if you have completed the event before, try and remember what the last one was like and the demands that came up last time and reflect on these. I've linked some videos of people completing the Ultra Trail Snowdonia event from last year to give you a chance to look at what might come up and understand the demands of the race if you haven't already completed it. These are linked on your task sheet. To promote a challenge mindset, the strategy we're going to be using today is contingency planning. We're going to address some of the things that might go wrong in the race, thinking about every eventuality that could come up, and plan for what we can do to either prevent or respond to that. Research has suggested in order to build resilience, you need to be aware of some of the adversities that you may face during the race, and plan for them. Therefore, if or when it occurs, you are able to overcome it. Some things may be unplanned but predictable. Therefore, creating a contingency plan can help before the race as you have thought about how to overcome them already. This allows yourself to think about the future before the race, and then having a plan will allow you to be present in the moment during the race rather than worrying throughout the race. So to start creating a contingency plan, we need to think of some things that may occur in the race. You can do this on your task sheet, but if you prefer, you can create a mind map. Think of some issues that can happen in the race. Some internal ones. What could happen to you during the race? Either physically, so you could get injured, you could have blisters and so on, or emotionally, what emotions may you feel at different points in the race? Will you be tired or unmotivated or in pain? You can also think of more external ones. What could affect your race around you? Like the environment, what terrain difficulties could you have? What is the weather like? Or even other racers, what could other people do? Or do you have to stop and help others? Pause this video and spend a few minutes really thinking of every eventuality that could come up. Some things are out of our control. This is normal, but it can be very frustrating, so thinking about every eventuality and immersing yourself can really help in these situations. When I was immersing myself in the Ultra Trail Snowdonia videos, I found out that there was a gate 2 kilometers into the race. If you've done this race before, you may have known that, but if you haven't done this race before, now you're aware. You'll be going over stiles and gates, and this can cause queuing, so be aware of this because it can increase your time. By knowing and being aware of this factor before going into the event, it can prevent anger and frustrations you may have felt, which would have been right at the start of the race. Carrying on into the peaks, these are unpredictable. Think about it, it's not only you and the racers, but you may encounter wildlife such as cows and sheep. Think what you may do when these sort of encounters occur. So after that, you may be thinking of some other things that may occur. Now the task is, with this list of issues that could occur, how can we solve this issue? It may be as simple as being aware of it, such as a gate. Just being aware of it can help tolerance in the race. Or maybe you need to pack equipment, like plasters or waterproof clothes. So with this list you've created, now think of some solutions to those issues. The aim of this is to go in knowing any adversity coming up and making plans so if they do arise, you're able to solve them quickly and continue the race while remaining calm, and to decrease the negative emotions such as anxiety or anger when they do occur. I'm a swimming coach, so I always like this example, but Michael Phelps won a gold medal without his goggles. He planned and trained for every eventuality that had arisen, so when his goggles fell off in the race, he didn't break his stroke and he carried on and won. So now, the final task is to think, what can you implement into training? What are things you can do? Maybe one of the internal issues was needing a wee, so why don't you go for a run, but before you don't go to the toilet? To try and feel the same adversities you would feel in a race. Look down on your list, is there anything you could replicate in training that might happen in the race? When you're training, try to feel the same, so when it comes up, you're accustomed to that feeling. We cannot plan for every eventuality. The aim of contingency plans is to plan for the issues we think will arise and stay calm, and to follow the plan to reduce the likelihood of negative emotions occurring. But if things do occur and we don't have a plan, we can handle it and still overcome them.